Hello. If you have a problem with needles, this can be worse than large numbers of leaves. Within a very short time, the gutter can become completely clogged with needles. The difficulty is that most gutter leaf guard systems you can find are only a protection against clogging by leaves, but not by needles. As an expert on leaf guard systems, I want to give you some tips that can protect your gutter from clogging with needles. The shape of the protection system plays a crucial role in needles clogging the gutter. If the system has a curved profile, the needles that are blown down from the roof remain in the vaults of the protection system and clog the holes in this area. If the protection system is lower than the front edge of the gutter, the needles that are blown down from the roof remain on the protection system and clog the holes in this area. The best protection system lie on the gutter with a slight slope to the front. Any needles that lie on the protection system can be easily blown away to the front. The DaRi system meets these requirements very well because it has a slight slope to the front and the front edge of the protection system reaches the front edge of the gutter. Apart from the shape, the size of the hole plays a decisive role. If the holes are too big, the needles fall into the gutter. If the holes are too small, needles, small leaves, moss and dirt clog them. Our tests have shown that hole sizes with a diameter of 6 mm are very well suited to hold the needles back without clogging the holes. Therefore, the DaRi system has a hole diameter of 6 mm. It is very important that the protection system has a very large open area. The risk of clogging the holes by needles is much greater than by leaves. Therefore, it is very important that the protection system has a very large open area. Now, we want to make two attempts to test how well the DaRi system protects the gutter in needle attacks. First, we test the DaRi system with pine needles. We have distributed the pine needles on the roof and now rinse them with water. They then lie on the DaRi system. The needles predominantly lie flat on the DaRi system. The rainwater still runs under the needles and flows into the gutter, so we can say that pine needles are sat on the DaRi system, but the water draining into the gutter is not obstructed. Now we want to look under the DaRi system to see if the pine needles have fallen into the gutter or not. You can see that no pine needles have fallen into the gutter, but some needles are in the holes. So in the case of pine needle attack, the gutter can be very well protected by the DaRi system. There's a high probability that the needles are then blown away by the wind. Although some needles are stuck in the holes, the water drain into the gutter is not disturbed. Now we do the same test with the shorter fir needles. Here we simulate a strong infestation of fir needles and rinse them with water down on the DaRi system. Yet again we see that the outflow of rainwater is not disturbed, even if the entire DaRi system is covered with fir needles. Now we look under the DaRi system. You can see that a few needles have fallen through the holes in the gutter, but all the other needles are lying on top of the DaRi system. So we can determine that although some needles have fallen through the holes, the rainwater will wash them away. The majority of the needles stay on the DaRi system and are blown away by the wind. What these two tests have shown is it's not possible to have a 100% protection against needle attacks, but the DaRi system is still a very good protection. And the gutter does not get clogged by needles if you protect it with this DaRi system. We have designed the DaRi system so that they represent the best possible protection against needle attacks. In comparison with other protection systems, we can achieve this very well. For the criteria of form, hole size and open area, the DaRi system gets excellent results. With the DaRi system, you get a professionally designed product to protect the gutter against needle attack. Goodbye.